Hey YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Thanks for joining me for another housing discussion. I'm going to cover some Australia tonight. I'm going to cover a bit of New Zealand and the UK later on this week. There's a lot going on, guys. I'm going to read some headlines for you guys and on what's happening here in Canada. Boots on the ground. I'm in Toronto. I'm seeing firsthand on what's happening here. Very interesting. The supply and demand here, a lot of people still believing that there's not enough supply to feed the demand, and what's happening is property prices are going up. No one's looking at the enormous amount of empty investment units that they have that are left empty. No one's looking at interest rates were down, and a lot of the free or cheap money obviously grew this bubble into a huge proportion of economic disaster. So what's going on? BOC, Bank of Canada, private lenders see their share of Canada's mortgage market double since 2015. So private lenders, people. We're talking about people that can't get nothing at their bank, so they have to go to a secondary market with higher interest rates. So these private lenders pay a higher interest when they borrow the money from the Bank of Canada than the banks do. And they end up charging 8, 7, 8, 9, almost 10. I mean, I've seen crazy amount, 9% on a first mortgage before. Like, I've seen it before. And so what's happening is their share of Canada's mortgage market doubled since 2015. The average Canadian, or the average borrower is going to these places now for loans. So what's going on here? This week's top story, IMF warns real estate prices are a risk for Canada and Canadians are paying a record amount of interest. Big problem because you're not paying down the mortgages, and people should start calculating what their mortgage rates are going to go up to. If the mortgage rates decide to go up a few more percentage points, find out, get a TDS calculator, it's free. Calculate your TDS, calculate your mortgage payment. Don't forget to add in property tax. Don't forget to add in strata fees. Don't forget to add in the enormous amount of cost of living just to live. So calculate that into your TDS and find out if you fit or if you're going to be at high risk of default. IMF warns that Canadian real estate is a key domestic risk. Very simply said, it is a problem that's going to affect all Canadians across every Canadian, no matter what, even if they're not homeowners. Even renters will be affected because a lot of renters are going to start receiving letters in the mail stating that your landlord or your landlord hasn't been paying his mortgage, and it's going to result to bigger problems. Canadian mortgage lenders are collecting a record amount of interest payments. Woo! Again, with mortgage rates going up, Homes back in the day were at an affordable level, 260 to 350, 400,000 for a big home for 400,000. Now they're in the millions, and then when it costs millions, interest rates go up. Yes, you're going to collect a lot more in interest rate payments because the principal is a lot more being borrowed than ever in history, Canadian housing history. And we're talking about the average tear-down home, people. We're not even talking about nothing special. BIS, real estate prices have only recovered in half of G20 countries since 2007. So if people remember who weren't living under a rock during 2007 and remember the huge crash that they had, not even most countries didn't recover from it. Most countries are still on the repair. The United States, Canada, Australia, a lot of countries are still on the repair. And from this 2007 economic problem that we have, Vancouver real estate inventory jumps 38%. Now at 34-month high. So more and more inventory. So this is not a supply and demand issue because there's lots of supply to feed the demand. So what's going on with the amount of empty homes laying around Vancouver and the amount of, you're looking at the empty homes in Vancouver owned by speculators. Then you have the amount of people trying to get out of the market now because they want to sell. And it's going to keep going up, and 34-month high, people are going to walk away with losses, or people are just going to have to default to make up. And then what's going to happen with all this empty inventory that the banks are going to own, I don't know. It might be a buyer's market anywhere 5 to 6 months down the road. Greater Vancouver real estate prices are down 5%, sales drop over 20%. Again, Real estate prices are down 5% and sales drop over 20%. It is not yet a buyer's market in Toronto. Buyer's market in Toronto. Everyone's telling me, the middle class in Merritt, middle class in Toronto makes $100,000. And what's the middle class make in Merritt? Well, the cost of living in Merritt is 1/10 of living. So you could get I'd rather get by on $30,000 a year and live a happy life than make $100,000 and get nowhere in life. How does that sound? A big commenter, big people commenting on my comments there, telling me, I'd rather make less and be happy and die happy than make more and have nothing and no one talks to me. Again, better dwelling. Canadians are now paying the most to service their real estate debt since 1992. Folks, this is they are paying the most to service. Why? Well, because they're taking second and third mortgages, HELOCs, whatever you want to call them, buying fancy cars with the equity in their homes, writing off the coattails on their equity in their home. Same goes for Australia, same goes for New Zealand, same goes for the UK. Everything's happening. It's all the same. Parts of the US, same thing. And look at this. Speaking of New York, even New Yorkers can't afford a Toronto home. Yeah. Oh, but the average median income in Toronto is $100,000 slash $40,000 off for taxes and then property tax and all the other taxes you're paying. What are you left with? Take away 70% of that $100,000. That's what you're left with. Do the math. 77 months of the year, you're working for the government here. So, or 8 months or 9 months now. But anyways, no, that's how it works. So people don't understand. When people are saying, oh yeah, well, what's the median household income in Merritt? Well, that's what it is. And the best part is, make a fake account to make fun of me. That's even better. That's going to raise, that's going to help housing sales even better. Or are you just mad that a person like myself that can't read and has no education saw this from 5 miles. Same thing like with soccer match fixing. I've been telling everyone soccer's been fixed for years. No one listened to me. I put my money where my mouth is, and look where I am today. Anyways, Globe editorial. The housing bubble is leaking air, but it's just the start. Again, we are quick to criticize the government decisions that go awry. So it's only fair to offer pundits. I'm not even reading that. I don't even know why they're using stupid words here to confuse people. And global news. Why aren't home prices falling? Home sellers won't have it. You're damn right we won't have it. How are we going to pay off that second mortgage and those credit cards? We can't be underwater. We got to look good in front of my friends. And this goes out to the people that made fun of people for not buying into the housing market, saying, oh, you didn't buy in, oh, you should have bought in with us, what's wrong with you, and this and that. Now, those people are going to be at the party with the drink. Hey, man, how's your mortgage coming along, man? Yeah, how's that ATM machine? Yeah, you still taking money out? Yeah, you sell it? Oh, I heard you sell it. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, I'm making these videos and going strong with these videos is because apparently I've missed out on this great real estate opportunity. And I'm crying about it. No, I'm just not I might be dumb, but I ain't stupid. I'm seeing what's happening. I invested in the pop market, and I probably made a lot more than what I would have made dealing with homes. I invested in other things. Not like I'm not investing. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, I have better things. My business to invest to. I have other things that multiple sources of income. What? And people, ooh, you missed this opportunity. You don't buy a house. You buy a house as an asset. You grow over time. You lay roots. You have a family. You have kids. You don't buy a house to flip, or you want it. The second you want to treat houses like a commodity and flip it like it's on the stock market, get ready to take a loss because it's just the same like losing money in stocks. Let me know what you guys think. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.